What's going on, you guys? Browns Gratification here. Today we're going to be talking about the Cleveland Browns free agency so far and the few players, but impactful players that they've signed. Moving on to the first one, and that is Double O. I'm calling him Double O because I do not know how to say his name, and I'm not going to attempt to say his name until I can get it right. So, Double O is his name for now. We signed him to a 3-year deal, up to 22 million. Sorry, 3-year deal, $19 million. That could max out to $22 million, but he has 12.5 million guaranteed in that contract. So it's a really nice contract. Great deal for the Browns. Um, he, his sacks aren't like he's not a double-digit sack guy yet, but his pressure rate is like the most important thing. You can get 10, 12 sacks, but if you have like a 7% pressure rate, does not matter. Um, Pressure rate's really important, especially with the player that he's going to play opposite of. You can get two edge rushers that can consistently rush the passer. It's going to make that defense so much better. And he's actually, granted, it's not that big of a difference. I think it's like a point 0.1 or 0.2% higher than Miles Garrett in pressure rate. Miles Garrett's like fourth or fifth, and Double O is third. So he's a really good player. His PFF grades this year for edge wise was 12th out of 129th, and his pass rush grade was 10th out of 129th. So great player, 44 tackles, a few tackles for loss, and a bunch of quarterback hits. So yeah, I'm really excited for him. I can't wait to see what him and Miles Garrett do. Moving on to Delvin Tomlinson. This one was pretty shocking because I didn't expect. I assume any players on the radar of the Cleveland Browns, but I didn't think Delvin Tomlinson was a guy that we'd have to keep an eye on, but he was. Um, Signed like at 11, like at least the news broke out like Tuesday night, like at 11 o'clock or something like that. He signed a 4-year deal worth $57 million. He has like 27.5 million guaranteed, so it's really a 2-year deal if you look at it. Now, let's say 2 years I can cut him. I'm sure there's still some dead cap money, uh, in those next 2 years, but essentially it's a 2-year deal, and I think it was a great addition to this D line. His defensive grade for his PFF grade was 77. His pass rush grade was 79.1, which was eighth among interior defenders, and had a pressure rate of 9.18, which is good. Which had him 19th in uh, defensive tackle rankings for the pressure rate. Not a big sack guy, never was. Again, the pressure rate and being able to stop the run, especially in the inside, is like the um, biggest thing that Delvin Thompson could help us out with, because our run defense was terrible. You guys seen it a bunch of games last season, and Jordan Elliott and Tommy Togiai just weren't doing it. And they came out and signed Delvin Tomlinson, who should be really nice. He's only 29 years old, still has a little bit of football left to play, and I thought it was a good deal for Andrew Berry and easy to opt out of after 2 years. Now, probably my favorite signing of the Cleveland Browns free agency so far. Juan Thornhill, 3 years, $21 million, 14 million guaranteed, 7 million a year. You know, Jesse Bates, that smoke was out there, but I just didn't think it made sense, especially the money we have. You know, the money down the line is going to be an issue for all these star players that we Browns fans want to sign. So, picking up players like Juan Thornhill, cheap and competent players that know what they're doing, especially with the Jim Schwartz defense, especially with the defense that has a competent defensive coordinator and coaching staff. That's all you need. Like the Bengals, they had a star player or two on defense and offense, and just the rest of the players were competent. That's how they got to the Super Bowl and then the AFC Championship. You just need competent players, and Juan Thornhill is one of those. Coming off a season with 3 interceptions, 9 passes defended, 71 tackles, um, and a Super Bowl ring. So, two of them. And, it's just a great pickup for the Cleveland Browns and something that was needed. Um, he was third for safeties for force incompletion percentage, which is 20%. His coverage grade was 14th, his coverage grade, um, 14th among all safeties last year. So that's good. Way better than John Johnson. Um, So yeah, really great signing by the Cleveland Browns, and happy to have Juan Thornhill on the team. Lastly, here's a few little additions, more like 1 year prove it deals, kind of like what they did with Malik McDowell, Maurice Hurst, and Tristan Hill. Um, Tristan Hill, really athletic, 25 years old. He's going to have a lot more upside than a Maurice Hurst, who hasn't played in 2 years. So I'm really excited to see how Tristan Hill plays. But also, this is, you have nothing to lose. See what they can do if they can, you know, provide anything. That's a win. These guys are kind of like the Chase Winovich and Taven Bryants of last year. They're signed to different teams, so these guys are kind of like the replacements. But I don't think we're done at D tackle yet. I think we'll sign another depth piece, um, one or two more, and then who knows? Maybe we do something receiver wise. Because I hear Jerry Judy is a player the Browns are looking at, so it's gonna be interesting. Let me know what you guys think of the Browns free agency so far. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Is there a player available that you still want to sign? Yeah, let me know, and peace.